Hi, I'm Jill and welcome to my channel. This week we are tackling the kitchen. It was initially going to be the second space I was going to take care of before the hallway makeover fell into my lap, but I'm so glad that I took a little extra time with this one because I think there's some final decisions that really ended up bringing the whole space together. There's a lot of work, so let's get into it.
The kitchen is the room I've been most excited to tackle because it's the space I've done the least amount of work to before starting this channel, so I knew it was going to be a satisfying transformation. It's still beige in here just like it is in every other room of this apartment. The cabinets are not my favorite shade of cream and have about 40 years of landlord special paint jobs, so they are a mess. I find it pretty dark in here as well, especially when trying to wash dishes or cook on the stove, so let's see if we can solve some of those problems as well. As always, I got my paint from the local paint shop. This color is Benjamin Moore's Coral Spice, which I've been drawn to while planning a couple of different bases, but I think it's going to go beautifully with the color I've picked for the backsplash. I'm going to need you to trust the process on this one. To help with the lighting issues, I got these under cabinet lights on Amazon. They've been great.
I just realized I deleted all of the footage of me painting the cupboards, so you're not going to see that process. It wasn't that exciting. They're still white. I had no plan to paint the cupboards. If I had, I probably would have done something a little bit more exciting. Just ended up being completely unavoidable when I was trying to change the hardware for the cupboards. When I took off the old ones, all the paint came with it, and the old handles had a bigger space where they attach than the new ones. So my new ones weren't going to cover up where the paint was lost. So I had to go in, fill all of the handle holes, and then was left with just a disaster. So yeah, I ended up using the leftover Simply White that I used in the hallway makeover and just use that on the cupboards. Because it's an eggshell finish, it's definitely not recommended to use that on cabinets. So I'm going to end up coming back when I give it a little bit more time to cure and do a couple top coats with some kind of clear coat. I spoke with a very helpful lady at the paint shop on Kenmount Road. And she told me what I should get, but that I should wait 7 days. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, no footage of my side quest, but they do look better now. I do want to give the context for why I decided to leave the cabinets alone. I had gone back and forth a couple different times, one to paint them. And then I found some really cool vinyl, like faux wood peel and stick. I'll put a picture here that I thought would look awesome, especially because the doors are all totally flat. There's no routered detail at all. So I thought that would look really clean, really cool. But the paint job on these cabinets is so horrible that it would have just led to a complete nightmare when trying to clean it up and take it all apart when I'm leaving. It also, the original paint job on these cabinets is so bad, I just felt like there was no point in doing anything with them in the end. But I think it ended up being for the best that I did have to paint them, because I think that they really do look a lot better now with just like a fresh coat of paint. Today, what I'm so excited for, I've been looking at buying these for a couple of years now and just finally worked up the courage to just go for it. The entire design for the kitchen totally is completely around these smart tiles from Smart Tiles Canada. They are everything I could have hoped for and more. The quality is just chef's kiss. So we're about to see how easy it is to put these things on the wall. We'll see.
Before I added the smart tiles, I added some peel and stick wallpaper I found from Amazon to try and protect the drywall, as I've heard it's very much not recommended to put them directly on wall paint. I'm hoping this worked, but I will have to give you an update on that down the road. I can't lie, these were a bit tricky for me. The actual application process was pretty straightforward and they seemed to have stuck really well, even when at one point I realized I made a big mistake and had to take 4 or 5 off a few minutes after they'd already been installed. The cuts and fitting them around the cupboards and the outlets was quite tricky for me, even though I cut them with scissors quite easily. I can't say it's a perfect job, but I am really happy with the final outcome. I love the cabinet hardware I found. I saw some interior designer on Instagram last night saying that matte black hardware is out now, but first of all, I really don't think that the brass or gold would have matched very well with the coral color, and second, do what you want in your own home. Personally, I love the contrast. I didn't want the most basic shapes, so I did a lot of digging to find ones with a little extra detail. Next, I'm getting rid of this boob light for a bit of an unconventional light option from IKEA. I spent 3 months looking for a light that I was happy with for this space. I had initially planned to put my vintage light in here, but in the end it seemed obvious to me that it was a much better fit in the hallway. I hadn't been thinking of going in this direction at all, but once I decided on the coral color for the wall, I knew I had to veer away from the brassy gold colors I'd initially been thinking about. On probably my 20th time browsing through IKEA's lighting, it finally hit me that the lovely hit of powder blue was exactly what I was missing in this space, and it was only $20, people, plus the matte black detailing around the edging ties in perfectly with the hardware. Now I'm going back to do some caulking to clean the edges and make sure everything is nice and watertight. I found this amazing octopus hook locally at Twisted Sister in downtown St. John's. I love the style and function. I knew I wanted to update my light switch cover as always, but decided to keep it clean and simple this time with a white screwless option, very affordably from Canadian Tire. I also replaced the outlet covers with the same cover I used in the hallway. Next, I'm installing this IKEA hull tarp rail for a little extra storage and personality. I didn't hit a stud, so I used some drywall anchors just like I did when I was installing the octopus hook. I got these canisters years ago from IKEA and they are great. Nice big openings so it's easy to get the flour and sugar out. And they stack nicely as well. I got this vintage jug from the Newfoundland Emporium in Corner Brook a few years ago. How cute is this ravioli spoon rest from Indigo? I love these salt and pepper grinders from Le Creuset. I've had them for 5 or 6 years now, and they've held up incredibly well. I got this as a gift a few years ago. I think it's supposed to be a candle holder, but it works great for toothpicks too. I got this vintage copper coffee canister from In The Groove on Instagram last year, and I think it goes so well with the green. I've also been looking for a copper kettle for years, and finally found one at a prop sale on the show I was working on this year. Finally, I got this rug from Simon's to bring a little texture to the space.
Before we see the reveal, I'd like to take a minute to talk about my favorite local bakery. Every makeover, I try to highlight one local small business, and this week, it's Birdie. Birdie opened in 2024 to much excitement after the owner's previous endeavor, the extremely popular Levain Bakery, closed its doors a few months prior. I am not an expert, but I do believe that Birdie has the most delicious and beautiful pastries to ever hit the island of Newfoundland. Their cinnamon rolls and croissants are my particular favorites, but I don't think it's possible to go wrong no matter what you pick. You can find Birdie at 258 Water Street in downtown St. John's. I'll leave their information down below. Let's check out the finished space. Thanks so much for watching another video. If you'd like to see more, I've linked my makeover playlist up here, and be sure to like and subscribe so I can keep making these videos.
Pick a book with this. Pick a book with this. Pick a book with this. Like you just like, and then you tag people in it.
Gotcha.
But I won't have anyone to tag, so I'll be like, yo, any other booktubers out there wanna be friends?
Can you hold this again, please?
I've been waiting and see. I'm just.
You should be careful what you're doing in front of the camera, babe. I need bloopers.
I'm definitely giving you bloopers. You definitely can't use this audio because you're getting demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. You're right.
I sound just like him. Oh!
Karma.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother.